All right. Connie, if you're ready to go live, just give me the... Hello, hello, hello. My name is K Patrice Williams. Thank you for joining me today. I am so excited about today's Turning Point episode. I have my good friend who is coming on. She is Connie Harris, and she is the CEO of the Solano Community Foundation. I was just telling her that I've learned so much from her over the years. I think she's one of the smartest people I know. And I can't wait to introduce you to her. So with that, here is Connie.
Hello, everybody. Hi, K Patrice. Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
It is so good to see you.
It's a very exciting day, exciting times.
You know, I'm so glad that you were able to make time for us today, because I know, today, we should start with today is Giving Tuesday?
Yes. Giving Tuesday, worldwide Giving Tuesday. And then locally, it's Give Local Solano Day. So we piggybacked, I guess you could say, on that theme back in 2016 was our first go at it. And we thought, well, rather than reinvent the wheel, let's go with something a little closer to home. So it turned out to be Give Local Solano.
I love it. And I didn't know about Giving Tuesday until I met you and watched your work at the foundation. So I didn't even know, I didn't have a consciousness of what it was until you brought it to my attention. And I was just telling you that and at the time you also kind of startled me, because you were saying that the give numbers from Solano County at that time was really, really low.
Yes. Well, back then, and this was probably back in 2015, 2016, one of the reasons we started Give Local Solano was because that need for foundation dollars and donor dollars to come in to Solano County to support the nonprofits that are working with the communities that they serve. And what happened is we trying to think of a way that we could build a culture of philanthropy, because per capita, money's coming in, foundation dollars or charitable dollars that came into Solano County per capita back in 2006 was $3 per capita. You compare that with some place like San Francisco County, where their per capita giving was somewhere around $1,400. And you can see that there is quite a disparity there. The needs are high, but the giving was low. 10 years later, 2016, they do another survey, and this time Solano comes in at $6 per capita. So the good news is we doubled the giving, but the bad news is we're still less than $10 per capita of dollars coming into Solano County to support nonprofits and the work that they do.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Solano Community Foundation?
Yes. Well, we were established back in 1996. So we'll be celebrating our 25th year anniversary in 2021. I was going to say next year, but we're so close. So in the next few months, right? It's 2021. We were established back in '96. We received our determination letter. A group of folks had really got together in 1994 and realized that they needed a community foundation presence in Solano County. And so that became the board of directors for Solano Community Foundation. And what happens, community foundations are unique in that we set up funds for donor giving. So we say that there's three roles that we as a community foundation play. We're a vehicle for philanthropy, we're a community leader, and we're also a grant maker. And so you can't make grants if you don't have monies coming in. So what we do is we establish funds, and then we charge a very minimal administrative fee for those funds. And then those monies are used then for our programs and for grant making from the foundation. But the donor funds themselves can also, and they do, that's what they're set up to do, is they make grants to organizations that they're passionate about for the work that they want to see happen in a community, in a geographic spot. Community foundations are very unique in that we serve a geographic area, and it's usually part of our name. So Solano Community Foundation, Napa Valley Community Foundation, YOLO Community Foundation. Then you have bigger ones like Sacramento Region Community Foundation. And then if you're really big and you started out early on, you can be the California Foundation, which is basically Los Angeles. So, and then everywhere in between, big partners and big foundation. You've got the San Francisco Foundation, East Bay Community Foundation, and the folks that really stepped up, and I can't sing their praises enough, is Silicon Valley Community Foundation. And their leader, special shout out to Nicole Taylor, that's the CEO. She and her organization stood up funds in March, and we've received over $1 million from, well over $1 million from the foundation that we have then re-granted. So it's now become more of a Bay Area support system, where before we might be one of the 9 Bay Area counties, but nobody knew who we were or where we were, and we were so small in terms of assets that it's very hard to get on the major funders' radars. I don't know if that explains it enough, but I can tell you more.
It does. And what I did was I pulled up, because I really like your website. So I pulled it up so that when people, and I posted your URL.
Yes.
But I wanted people to know how easy it is to navigate your website. And I believe you were just talking about the response grants.
Yes, exactly. The COVID-19 response grants, that's our Solano Community Impact Fund. That when we set that up, we didn't realize what and how much of an impact COVID-19 would have in terms of the pandemic. So the idea behind the fund was just community impact in general, but from that fund, we are awarding COVID response grants, COVID-19, and 2 different kinds of grants, one for basic needs and one for nonprofit, and another grant program for nonprofit support. And from that fund, we've awarded over $1 million in grants.
Wow.
And about over 100 grants already. And that happened in about the first, I'd say 6 or 7 months. Well, and then the fires started. So if you look to the left, you'll see the Solano Disaster Relief Fund. When the wildfires started up in Solano County, YOLO, Napa, the LNU complex fires, we were known, and this is why I'm so grateful to Silicon Valley, is because of their partnership and their support of us as an agency. We had taken the lead as the community foundation for Solano County. Of course, we're the only one. But based on that and the relationship, the donors, I'm going to use this for listeners, came out of the woodwork to fund us for fires and the disaster relief. So we raised another $500,000, $500,000 from funders that want to support Solano County and our nonprofits and our residents in need. So it's been, it's been a double-edged sword, right? Disasters really bring out the best in people and the donors, and part of not only just the funding from the major area funders, the individuals in Solano County, we received close to 400 individual donations for the same fund. So people are out there and they want to give, and it's very, very heartwarming and inspiring to have that happen during our greatest time of need.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. I also see on your website the NPP workshops and trainings, and of course, I know you through that as well because I taught once or twice and loved it. Are you still doing that virtually through the pandemic?
We are. We had to slow down and pare down, in the early going with the shelter in place, and then trying to make our transition to working remotely. Today I'm in the office because of the Giving Tuesday and Give Local Solano, but all of us are pretty much working from home, and then there's one staff member will come in a couple days a week, and we've got a schedule worked out. But the MPP program, we were holding the trainings in our large, beautiful training room that we couldn't congregate, right? So we shifted to some online listening sessions, and those were really timely because that happened just before I'm going to have to say the pandemic really ramped up in April. So we had these Solano listening sessions, nonprofit partnership listening sessions, to try to find out what the needs of the community were and the gaps in funding and services. And at the same time, then we said, well, let's focus on one theme for this crazy year and let that be social media. So we had a couple of social media workshops just to try to get folks prepped and ready for the end of the year giving that we knew was going to happen online. I mean, there are no more galas, and there are no actual fundraising events that can be held with any large groups of folks. So we thought, well, social media, online and virtual learning and exchange of information is where we are. So we moved toward that, and we'll be planning that. We are right now for 2021.
Awesome. So let's go to the chat. I didn't show you where the chat was. It's off to the side there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you have someone on my team at Power Solano saying, thank you and welcome. And you are a true servant of the community. Hashtag Giving Tuesday 2020. And give Local Solano. We're going to talk about that next, so I'll put that up on our screen. Also, Vena Ford says,
Vena Ford. I know Vena Ford.
You do?
Yeah, I do. It's been a while, but I know who she is. Hi.
She's just about to call you.
Yeah, she's terrific in her own right. Let me tell you, I'm interested to see what she's doing. I think she's over in Contra Costa now.
Okay, we're gonna have to find out. She's a part of my network too. I want to know what you're doing too, Vena. Alicia Settles says good afternoon.
Hello.
Lisa Clinton says she's so grateful that you're there. Alexis, we're about to talk about giving. She says she loves giving. And we're going to talk about that later. Alexis Williams Patton is amazing in our community. Loretta is saying thank you for the resources. Okay. So she's worked with the Marin Community Foundation,
right?
Community Foundation. Loretta has, and Alexis is sending us some kisses. With that, let's go to Give Local Solano. So I'm going to bring that up on our screen, and yay! And
that's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm so glad we have you here, but I know that this is a super busy time for you because you and your team of amazing folks, you are running Give Local Solano today.
Right.
So talk us through it, and I'll click wherever you want us to.
Oh, okay. Well, at first what happens is, so we set up this, well, I'll back up a few steps and say what we wanted. It goes back to the funding and the funders and the per capita giving, right? And so the answer there, or one of the questions that didn't have an answer was, well, who are the nonprofits in Solano County? How do funders, if funders don't know about you, they're not going to fund you. So we set up a website specifically for our nonprofit partners where you can register your nonprofit. That gives us information about who you are, where you are, what you do, and the population that you serve. And then and that stays up as a online nonprofit directory for 364 days of the year. On the one day of giving, on Give Local Solano, Giving Tuesday, what we do is we have the opportunity to go in and turn on the donate button. So we vet the nonprofits that have registered so that we can present the group as a whole that has a presence in Solano County that we know of. They're nonprofit partners. We've either made grants to them, they've joined our nonprofit partnership program, they've completed the entire profile. And then behind each one of these 12 categories that you see on the home page there will be nonprofit organizations that fall in that category. So pick one, pick anyone, and I'll walk you through it. There you go. So community resilience. So alphabetically listed then, each one of those nonprofits on the left-hand side, and you can pull up, for example, maybe Fighting Back Partnership, Children and Family Services, either one. And each profile page then is standard and uniform, right? So you have the logo on the right-hand side. You'll see the communities that they serve, organization information, and then brief description, mission, programs, accomplishments. And as you scroll down a little bit, the funding goals overall or just for today, and then a couple of pictures. This was set up so they come in at the bottom, but if you click on them, you can see a bigger version of that picture. There you go.
Yay.
Yeah, nice, right? So you're not using up your whole page with a big photo and then no information, which pictures are good, but we're looking to attract funders to the page. So now scroll back up, and on the left-hand side, that make a donation box, that's the one thing that we can toggle on and off for Giving Tuesday. Okay. So when you click on the donate button, that takes you to a PayPal. You can go ahead and click on it, and you just see not making a commitment.
Oh,
it goes through PayPal. It knows who you are, and it knows that you clicked on the button on the Fighting Back Partnership page, and that goes to PayPal. PayPal gives us a notice. It comes into our email account. We send out a personal thank you, add it to our gift tracking spreadsheet, and then if you'll leave this page. Yeah, there you go, return. If you scroll to the top there where you see GLS participants, scroll down to the leaderboard.
Ooh, we have a leaderboard.
Yeah, this is very low tech. I'm just going to say it's kind of low tech, but we do what we can do with what we have, right?
Right.
And so then this is updated, and I've got one to update. We're doing it as by the time the gifts are received. So this is what I was doing before I came on the podcast. So I'm behind. We have one more update here. And the update currently, we have 19 gifts. This says 11. So I go in and physically update it, manually update it. So we have 19 gifts for $1,393.
Okay.
So there'll be, and a whole bunch more. So what you're seeing is a snapshot of about an hour or so that the staff and I are trying to keep the page updated to see how many gifts are coming in and what the total amount raised is.
Right.
Seemed like folks started waking up about 8 o'clock or so. We started at midnight, but we only had about 4 or 5 gifts. And then early morning now, my coworker, my colleague, is in there trying to catch up, right? So it's a manual type of a system. But we patterned it after our website because on our Solano CF website, every fund that I was telling you about, where we set up funds for as a vehicle for philanthropy,
Mhm.
every fund has a donate button as well. So you can donate to the fund anytime you want. Then we created Give Local Solano, where every nonprofit has its own profile page. And
Right.
so when you click on that, we know exactly where the gift is coming from and for what purpose. When it's all said and done and the numbers have all been crunched, then we will cut a check to each one of the nonprofit participants. And this year we have 45 of them. Last year we only had 28. This year, 45 participating nonprofits, and we actually had 30, another 30. So that would have been 75. 30 that weren't quite ready in terms of their profile and having all the information ready to go. So
Mhm.
there's a very simple, easy vetting process. But tomorrow on the 2nd of December, I turn the switch back on, and then you'll be able to see all 75 lists of nonprofits, but there won't be a donate button. So the donate button is only good for this one day of giving. If not, we would be fundraising year round, and it would just be mind boggling.
Right. This is so nice. I
It's
love.
cool. It's, yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I love that it's a directory as well.
Yes.
Also, if someone has a nonprofit or is starting a nonprofit in Solano County, well, they
Yeah.
have a nonprofit, uh, even though they wouldn't be turned on live for today, they should go ahead and register their nonprofit, right?
Yes. 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 And then what happens is we get information that they've registered, and then I send them. Then a communication process takes place, and that is then we send them what's called the Part 2 form, asking them for 2 photos, their logo, and some additional information that when we get that PDF back, we just copy and paste, and then we build the rest of the profile. And we've tried it both ways, where you let 45, 75 nonprofits try to update a profile. It's a goat rope, to put it easy, mildly. So we do that. We control what's on the page and the layout of the page.
This is so good. So, if people are thinking about starting a nonprofit, it's in process, then they would head over to your foundation and take advantage of become a member. Is
Yeah.
it $20?
75 now. It's all the way
Oh,
up to 75. Yeah.
well,
It was for
finally.
a year. I know we started at 25 probably when I first met you. And then that was for 5 years or so. And then we went up to $50 and now 75. And what we do with that $75, it's an annual membership and it starts each calendar year. So we collect those monies, and 100 nonprofit members is $7,500. And then what we do is we turn that into grants. And then that money goes out as professional development and training grants, small grants, up to $2,500. Then if we have enough money, if we can raise enough through either Give Local or active fundraising for our that program fund, then we're able to make general operating support grants for $7,500 up to $10,000 to the nonprofits that can then build capacity.
Well, I tell you, I still think 75 is too low, because with that, once you're a member, your classes are relatively really just the cost is very small, right?
Yeah, yeah. If we offer anywhere between 10 and 14, we were offering monthly workshops, sometimes 2 a month, where you could attend all 10, 12, or 14 of them for the same $75. And $75 is per agency. So any 2 people from your agency could have a seat in that workshop. And it was our way of trying to support nonprofits and their own, organization development with a short staff, small staff. So we figured that with nonprofit training and capacity building, we could get more folks in the room at the same time, give them the information, and then give them a chance to network with each other. So like you were saying, if you're a brand new nonprofit and you have a mission that's close to another nonprofit's mission and they've been doing it for a while, now you can hook up with each other and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just jump right into it, and lessons learned.
You know, it was a lot of fun because when I taught with you, I would see those magical connections happening.
Right.
And it was happening with me too. Like I have friends. I'm thinking now, I'm like, I have friends that I made in your classroom.
Right, right. I don't know if I should say this about Brand Gov or not, but you were also instrumental. You actually recreated our logo. So a big shout out to K Patrice. She created our updated and gave it a fresh new look, both our SCF logo and our Give Local Solano logo. Volume down.
You're like
Yeah.
PBS.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're like PBS. Your phone's just ringing.
Oh, I know. I should have turned the volume down. Sorry.
But no, you know what? We're at a point where I will only take brand projects that I love, of organizations that I love, have a connection to, and see and connect to your value proposition. So yours was an immediate yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, I can't thank you enough because you've been instrumental in really getting our marketing material, our collateral materials, uniform and matching. And you'll see that the logo for Solano, I always say SCF, for Solano Community Foundation, looks very close to, and you can see that it's in the same family as Give Local Solano. So I love that.
Well, that's what you said. You said is you could tell, need to be able to tell us in the same family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay. Okay, so I want to make sure we have we're caught up on chats. Vienna Ford says that she is so glad that you're still doing that training. It's so needed. Roxana Damas says that that she just registered her nonprofit. And Roxana is a friend of our Empower Solano family.
Right.
We have Cheryl Bailey McDonald, and she is just saying thank you for this amazing information. And so now let's give everyone the call to action. Today, we want everyone that is listening, to share.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this on whatever platform, Facebook, LinkedIn, any of our 8 platforms, hit the share button. We want to get the information out about Solano Community Foundation, and B, we want people to give.
Yes. Give Local Solano. That's the cry, right? Give Local Solano, and it's happening. I mean, it truly is happening, and we see an increase, and we see greater success each year. But this year, good Lord, this year has been a year of years in terms of philanthropy and donor. I'm going to say donor fatigue, maybe even. I mean, the same people that are giving, bless their hearts, are the same folks that have probably been impacted or know somebody who's been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, by the wildfire disasters, and by the civil unrest and Black Lives Matter. We set up also during the pandemic, right, in May, after I don't even know what a good word would be, after the civil unrest that happened in Minnesota. I'm from Wisconsin. So what happened in Minnesota with George Floyd, right? George Floyd, and the whole upheaval of thinking of how do Americans treat each other, and how do we think, and what is equity, and what is social justice. We set up a social justice and equity fund, and as we were beginning to fundraise for it, the wildfires hit, and then disaster relief money came in. But we also continued to get money for our social justice and equity fund. So we're really excited to be able to give grants in 2021 specifically for nonprofit organizations, Black-led organizations, and or people of color that are working in communities that have been marginalized, disparities are evident, we want to help fix that, and we can do it with that fund. So
That's
we've got
awesome.
a lot of exciting things.
There's a lot of organizations in Solano County that fits that
Yep.
that bill. So that is so awesome. I just had another marketing idea.
Yes.
So if people that are watching, say you're part of a larger group organization, and you go to, let me go back to it, and you go to the website, givelocalsolano.org, and you say, our organization cares about, hold on, it's too small. I don't think the people can see it because I sure can't. Let's make it big. So you're part of a group that says, we care about animals and wildlife.
Right.
How about you point everyone in your group and your organization today to this site under animals and wildlife and say, look, by X time, 5 p.m., everyone needs to donate $25 to this group. Within this framework, everyone needs to donate $10. Everybody needs to donate $100. Whatever that number is, we can drive a lot of dollars to this portal and through these mission areas that you care about and that the groups that you're in care about.
Yes.
I think that's our call to action.
That is the call to action. That's exactly, we want folks we're trying to make it as easy as possible to categorize the mission areas, right? And we didn't want to get crazy on the page. So we've got 12 boxes, and you'll see some of them are doubled up, but they make sense, right? Animals and wildlife, mental health and domestic violence, economic and social disparities. So if you're passionate about the work in those areas, you click on any one of those boxes and you'll see the list of nonprofits that are doing that work. And they all need your support. They all need your help. Some nonprofits have today, they might be involved in 3 or 4 different giving campaigns just to try to raise money, year-end money, for those that already know what they're going to be doing in 2021. Some folks are mid-year, depending on their fiscal year, and some are at the end of their fiscal year. But all of the nonprofits need support because during this entire pandemic, they haven't been able to congregate, raise funds, work closely with funders, donors, stakeholders, and the communities that they serve. So they've had to put things into place that were never expected to happen. I tell you, I wish I would have had taken stock out in plexiglass. Everybody, you have to put physical barriers up now, and then you need the PPE, and some folks are working at home, and we didn't have, hardware or the software. So it's every nonprofit that serves Solano County residents, it needs help. We all need help.
Right. Well, you have been wonderful, of course.
Thank you. I think you're pretty wonderful too. I appreciate this. Is a surprise. I've heard of podcasts, but I didn't know that this is how it works. So thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. Welcome. I think we have one last person, Nicole Jackson. She just says this is very helpful. But I tell you again, the fact that you would come during your busiest day is pretty remarkable. We're going to make sure we share this on our platforms. We're going to have our friends all share it. And we're going to get the word out about what you guys do today and tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I do. Have a wonderful day.
You too. You take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Well, that was a fun show, a fun episode. We're thanking Connie Harris, and tomorrow I want you all to be with us tomorrow for another show that we're having, a great episode. And this episode is completely off the grid, but I'm excited to host it. We're going to do a show on hair porosity. That's what we're doing. So tomorrow we will be doing a show on hair porosity at 10, and we want you to really know your hair well, know how to nourish your hair and keep your hair healthy. And we're going to be here with Tiffany, the owner of Crown Beauty Supply, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll give you more information about that, but you're going to be needing to take hairs out of your hair. You're going to need to have your 4 glasses of water. And we're going to figure out more about our hair and our health together. But that's tomorrow at 10. So take care. Bye.